Hello and welcome to another edition of RCW Spotlight. I am your host, your role model, Rick Lieb. And with me as always, he is the voice of Rubber City Wrestling. And we're going to find out for real if you are today. Today's your test. He is none other than Ricky Williams. Ricky.
Good seeing you again.
So how are you feeling?
Honestly, can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
This guy right here knows his stuff when it comes to training. My goodness, is he whooping my butt? And he is overpowering me right now during the workouts.
Well, you knew I was going to. I mean, I've been doing this forever.
You're doing it forever, so it makes sense. But hey, listen, I'm just saying.
Let's just say somebody is doubling somebody else in weight.
Hey.
And I'm not talking about on the scale. But that's beside the point. You're doing good, and I'm not here to make fun of you for that. The fact that you're actually in the gym, and we actually went to the gym, and we've been going all week, and you've been actually busting your butt out there, tells me that you mean it, you're serious about it. I just hope you don't give up. Don't quit, because you will find results, and by the end of next year, you'll be able to beat up DJ Square. I mean, Dak, who has an open challenge for you next December.
Oh, I'm working for it, trust me.
Right.
You hear that, Dak, right?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Now, before we go into our first commercial break, speaking of next December, we got this December, and we got an event coming up. We won't talk about the event, but I will say this, December 14th. Now, not only is it the day after my son Ricky Lieb's birthday, but it's
Good for him.
The next day is your birthday.
I know.
So you're going to be commentating on your birthday, which means everybody save some money, because I want to hear this dude drunk commentate. Everyone there has to buy him a shot or a drink. You have to. Do it for us.
If you guys don't do it, you guys suck. I'm sorry. I'm just being real.
Because you know it's going to be funny.
But no, for real, happy birthday to your son. Even though he's an annoying punk.
What?
It's still happy birthday to your son. I show respect to you.
I get it. And tomorrow actually is my other son Colton's birthday.
I know, man.
So
how many birthday parties are
I know. And I got, let me see. So I got Colton's birthday party on the 9th. I got your birthday, or no, not yours. Yours is on the 14th. I got Ricky Lieb's on the 13th. Then at this show, it's your birthday party. And then, I mean, literally, this is your birthday party. Your birthday party is a wrestling event?
I mean, yeah, might as well.
Right? I mean, and then, of course, we have our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ's birthday on the 25th. Yep. Then on the 31st, Shane Taylor's birthday.
Happy birthday to him.
Right, so this is a busy month. And then, of course, next month, on the 9th, is my son Emery's birthday.
Yeah.
So between the 9th and the 9th, and, I got all these presents I got to buy. I'm going to go broke.
Right.
But, anyway, we got a great show lined up for you. We're going to be talking about a very unique subject, but we're not even going to spill the beans right now. We're going to go ahead and let you know in 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
'Twas the fight before Christmas at the Barley House. All the fans had poured in for some wrestling bouts. Purple Hooter and RoleModel, Ray Stewart versus Spike. Alexander Crowley gives Johnny Stewart his first fight. And many more matches with belts on the line to give wrestling fans their greatest time. 2 world champions defending. They will walk the walk. They are handsome Harley T. Morris and the Big Black Hawk. The way is in action. Team Beast too, it seems. And so many more wrestlers, so don't miss a thing. Tickets are on sale now. They will sell out quick, so stay on the nice list of good St. Nick. Rubber City Wrestling, I say, is more than enough. It's real professional wrestling, not that flippy stuff.
TNT Health, unmasking your potential. So, you want to look like the headline, Vinny DiMaggio? Here's your chance. Let's not be ridiculous. Nobody can look like Vinny. But if you need that energy before your workout, or you want to lose some weight, burn some fat, we got that. You want to build some lean muscle? You can get it at TNT. Or even if you just need the essentials, BCAAs, juiced up. Here at TNT Health, we carry it all. Come visit us at tnthealth.com.
Welcome back to RCW Spotlight. Before we get into the interview today, fans, don't forget, on December 14th, Akron Barley House, Rubber City Wrestling presents 'Twas the Fight Before Christmas. And on that card, your role model, Lieb, that's me, will be taking on a guy who's making his return after 20 years away from the business, and that would be the Purple Hooter. And I can't wait. It's going to be
Can I also cut you off here? Because we also have Ray Stewart, who's coming back after 5 years, facing off Spike Ronan. Let me just say, that's going to be a good one, too, in a return as well.
But look, his name is Ronin, and as you see, RCW does not know how to spell his name.
Yeah, I could tell.
It's horrible.
Ronin.
Horrible. And they made posters.
Yeah, they made posters.
But that's all right, because me and Spike have made it our business, our duty. You know, if they're not spelling Spike's name wrong, they're disrespecting Terrence Knight. I mean, I just don't get it. But yes, you are correct.
Honestly,
after 5 years, he'll be making his return too. 20 years though, come on, man. This guy has no business in the ring. I don't know what the heck Jeff's problem is and why Jeff needs to wear a mask still after all these years.
Never doubt someone when they're, for years, because you already
Yeah,
lost
look,
to
I'm
one
not
wrestler.
stupid. I know who it is.
You already lost to one wrestler who took a couple hiatus, just saying.
A couple hiatus. A hiatus.
Or hiatus. You know what I mean. I can't speak sometimes.
All right. Anyway, today is December 8th. 7 years ago, on this very day, December 8th, was the day I had triple bypass surgery on my heart.
Yes.
And on that day, a lot of things changed. I had to take a year away from wrestling. I had a family that thought they were going to lose me. Obviously, they don't know what an immortal is. And they, it was a crazy day. So, Rubber City Wrestling has asked the voice of Rubber City Wrestling, Ricky Williams, to do an actual sit-down interview with me out of character, whatever that means, because I don't think I'm in a character, out of character, to ask me, not about wrestling, not so much about wrestling, you're allowed to ask wrestling questions, but more about the heart surgery and the impact on it. So, without further ado, you are now the host of the show. And I'm gonna see if you can put your money where your mouth is, Mr. Host. And I want you to speak up so everybody can hear you. Oh, by the way, Saints, my second favorite team. You like that?
I respect it.
I'm wearing it. They didn't do too good this year, but you know what? I'm wearing it anyway.
Well, first things first. How are you doing right now?
How am I doing right now? Well, you've worked out with me.
Yes.
So you obviously know I'm not letting anything set me back. So how I'm doing right now, I mean, look, my chest is wired shut. So sometimes when I'm sleeping, I'll roll over and it will still pop. But for the most part, it holds itself good. I'm still in the gym. It's hard to lose the gut because I can't work out the way I used to once work out. But I'm at least still in the gym. I'm still motivated. I'm still hungry. I still want to win that World Heavyweight Championship one more time.
Oh, yeah.
Because apparently trying after that World Light Heavyweight Championship was not in the freaking... It was not for me. I tried, but I just can't keep up with those smaller guys, man.
Oh, yeah.
But people think that... Here's the... People think that the light heavyweight division is easy. No, because you got guys that are tough and fast, and so it's tough. It's not as easy as you might think.
Yeah. So we know during your recovery, I know it was probably not easy and everything.
Okay.
So I actually really want to ask this one too. What was your most challenging moment during your recovery?
Taking that first poop.
That makes sense. I mean,
anybody who's had surgery knows I'm not lying on that one.
You know what?
Oh my gosh.
I agree with it because when I had my hernia surgery, that was fun.
My gosh. No, seriously, just trying to get myself mentally and physically back into shape so that I can not only go back and work, but also make it back to the ring, because I make a lot more money wrestling than I do at a 9-to-5, and so I needed to do both. At the time I was working at the airport, I got to fly for free, but they didn't pay very well. Right. But it let me do more traveling. So I wanted to get back. I was trying to get back to work like that after a month off. I was like, come on, man, let me back in. They would not let me do it until I got cleared, which took months, like 6 months to be exact. And actually, I think I got cleared in 3 months because I begged them to clear me. But to wrestle, I didn't get cleared to train to wrestle for 6 months. And then after that, it took another 6 months for me to get in ring shape. And not just ring shape, but world championship, world class shape. So, but I knew what I needed to do as a trainer. You know what you needed to do. Now I had stepped down from being a trainer when I started having the heart attacks, which I didn't even know were heart attacks. I just had such bad jaw pain that I was like, man, I can't train.
I was just going to ask that question too. Like, what were the signs that?
Yeah, okay, well, that's a good question actually. The signs that I had were the jaw pain. I didn't have like the left arm pain. I didn't have any crushing chest pain. I did have shortness of breath, and I had jaw pain. And what I did is I would cough really hard, like like force myself to cough. Sorry, and all of a sudden the jaw pain would go away, and I'd feel better. No more shortness of breath. What I had found out from the doctors is, if you're alone and you think you're having heart attack symptoms and you cough really hard, it will actually shock your heart back into beating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I have a great question for you, RoleModel.
All right, let's hear it.
Tell us about your miracle story with that doctor showed you, because I remember you telling me this a long time ago when I heard about it, and it was crazy. I think it'd be great to share to everybody. What did that doctor say to you when he actually looked at the x-rays of your arteries before surgery, and how you survived that? We'll
go down the list of it, actually. So first thing they wanted me to do was they wanted me to do a stress test. And so I'm on this thing. Now, mind you guys, I'm in wrestling shape. And then when you're a wrestler, you're used to fighting through pain. So it didn't bother me. It was jaw pain. That was all I was feeling in the first place. So it didn't bother me. Shortness of breath don't bother me because you're told you're going to get a second wind. You know what I mean? Right. And so I'm just like, I can fight through that. So I constantly, I've wrestled 60-minute matches. I know how to pace my body or how to work on fumes, basically. And so I was, what happened was I'm on this treadmill and I'm running on it, and she looks at me and she goes, "Do you feel that?" And I'm like, "I got a little bit of jaw pain, but I can keep going I have no problem." She goes, "Okay, just let me know." And I'm like, "I will." And so I'm still running on this, and then she just turns it off. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" I go, "I could have went for at least another 10, 15 minutes. And she goes, "Well, it says you're in full cardiac arrest." And I looked over at her and I'm like, "Man, cardiac arrest doesn't hurt then." I'm like, and so I don't, what's, not being sarcastic, I was more concerned, what signs am I going to get if it's not even hurting me? You know what I mean? And obviously, it's the same signs I've been getting. The jaw pain. Pay attention to that. If you start over-exaggerating yourself and your jaw starts to hurt, it may not just be a toothache. It may end up being a heart attack. So cough really hard. If it goes away, you're having heart attacks. Get checked out. Anyway, so next thing they do is they do the dye test. And with that, because they were going to do a stint. And when he went in there with the stint, he goes, I'm sorry, we can't do this. And I'm like, why? And he goes, because it's too clogged. We're going to have to do open heart surgery. And I'm like, crap, you know, I didn't want that.
That's
the stint didn't hurt at all,
Mhm.
you know. So I'm like, all right, that sucks. I'm like, they go, so now we're going to have to do a thing where they make you drink this crap, and then they do an like a MRI of your body. And so they're doing they did the MRI, and he comes back, and he comes up to me, he goes, man, I got to ask you a question. What do you do for a living? And I'm like, I'm a professional wrestler. And he goes, man, I knew you had to be a pro athlete. He's like, you only see this in professional athletes and in like highly trained, like military, like special forces in the military. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, I want you to look at your heart, or look at these pictures. He goes, you see that dot right there where I have it circled? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, that is your widowmaker. It is 100% clogged. He goes, you know why they call it the widowmaker? I'm like, no. And he goes, because it makes women widows. I'm like, oh. And he goes, yeah, you should be dead. And he goes, you see that one right there? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I don't know what he called that artery. He goes, that one there, also 100% clogged. You should be dead. Then he goes, you see that one right there? It's over 90% clogged. That's 3 now. Over 90% clogged, or 2, or 100% clogged. He goes, you should be dead. And he goes, and that's your last one. He kept saying you should be dead. 76% clogged. He goes, I'm going to have to do a quadruple bypass on you. And I'm like, oh, sheesh, all right. And he goes, I go, then how comes I'm still like fine? And he goes, well, now look at this. You see those really thin things going around each one of those? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, your body is so used to being abused that it's creating its own bypasses. And I'm like, well, then what do I need the surgery for? Can't I just bill myself? You know what I mean? It's like, what the heck?
That's
and
crazy.
he's like, well, unfortunately, they're not thick enough, and that's why you're ended up having pain, which is causing the heart attacks. And I'm like, well, I just call it jaw pain. I didn't want to fathom it was a heart attack, so I kept saying, you mean jaw pain, And he goes, no, heart attacks. Okay, whatever. And so, long story short,
Oh, it freaking gives me chills just saying that, though. It's wild.
yeah, I mean, and it is. And then, of course, then I had the surgery, and I was under the knife so long, they could only get to 3. They couldn't do the 4th one. So
Oh, wow.
I actually still have the one that was 76% clogged, and hopefully it's getting better instead of worse.
I heard you kept me updated on a little bit. You said that your cholesterol's good right now. So,
Yeah, my cholesterol levels have dropped. I mean, I've been eating better. And here's the weird thing. They did tell me to try and, like, the doctors and stuff, they tell me to cut out, like their diet. I don't pay attention to their diets. I'm sorry, man. I pay attention to actual diets, like actual people that know what they're talking about. And a lot of lean meats are great for your cholesterol.
You've already answered my question that was next for
Yeah,
your diet.
because a lot of people are like, oh, you don't want to do that. No, I've been on lean meats, and it's been working really good. And honestly, I still eat steak. I mean, not as often. I definitely did cut out bacon. I mean, very rarely will I have bacon. And as far as eggs, I eat eggs like multiple times a week because it's got good cholesterol. And I love vegetables, so I eat vegetables and stuff like that. But I'm a steak and eggs guy. I'm a meat and eggs guy. I mean, I love all kinds of meats. So, I'm able to mix it up.
Right.
So, yeah, there's that.
All right. So we got your diet, we got your recovery, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, and
All right.
also fish, a lot of fish. I love fish anyway. Sardines. I know a lot of people like sardines. You probably don't like sardines. I don't know if you do or not. Sardines are delicious to me, and they are so good for you. They're actually listed on one of the top things for me to eat. So I'm like, oh, cool. I'll get them. Get them in that olive oil, lightly smoked. Perfect.
Now, I have some questions for this too. Do you have any tips for anyone who actually will be going through this? Like, let's say like someone actually now just got the news, hey, you're having triple bypass surgery. What would you give a tip for anyone like that who's going to go through that? And what would you tell them? Like what would you, help them recover and help them, not go through this again?
First of all, if it's anybody that knows me and you're having heart problems and you're having anything, just give me a call.
Right.
Obviously, I will end up, I mean, unless it's Draven Post. I'm joking.
No,
I am joking.
Oh my god.
I am joking. I
That's
just had
messed
to.
up.
I had to do that.
Oh.
Anyway, no, I don't care who it is. This is different. This is life or death. This isn't, a sport. If you're having any heart problems and you know me, or you're just watching the show and you want to reach out to me, feel free to do that. That's why people like me are in this position, so that we can talk to you and say, hey, listen, actually trust your doctors. They know what they're doing. These doctors are great and they're going to make you better, and then pay attention to them for the most part. I don't trust a lot of modern medicine because I believe some of the pharmaceuticals are a little bit messed up. But, excuse me, I definitely trust what these surgeons are capable of. Our surgeons are great. And I believe that our surgeons have our best health and interest. I believe most of our doctors do too. But there are those ones that, want that kickback more than they want that healthy person. And so there's that. But yeah, I'm just saying, if you have any questions, you just give me a call. If you're going through a triple bypass, just remember, always have that pillow on hand. If you want to know the best advice I can give you after having the surgery, have that pillow on hand. Because when you cough, it hurts. But when you sneeze, there has never been a pain that you've ever had in your entire life that has hurt worse than that. I don't care what anybody says. It felt like my ribs just went. I was like, oh, that was the worst pain I've ever had. So yeah, I mean, you want to definitely make sure that you take care of that.
Well, role model, I'm glad you're doing okay. Glad you're doing better.
I'm impressed with your interviewing skills.
Yeah, thank you.
I cannot believe that you just did a good interview. No offense, but I've never heard you do an interview.
That's okay.
So there's obviously going to be more of these coming up in the future.
Oh, I love them.
I do too. I love interviewing people.
Listen, I love asking questions. What I do all the time anyway, so I might as well, have fun with it. But yeah, no, glad you're doing good. It's really heartwarming to hear how you're doing now and everything like that. Not many people actually have heard, do well after the surgery. I heard some difficulties and stuff like that in studies. But
well, the problem is you have to have a good support team around you. I actually have great kids. Whether you like Rici Lieb or not, he's a great son. My youngest, Riot, believe it or not, my biggest heckler was in there. Mind you, he was 5 and he was cute then. Or no, he was 4. And he would come upstairs with water. Hopefully it didn't come out of the toilet. Because it did seem kind of lukewarm. No, but he would come up with a glass of water. He would come up, Dad, make sure you have your pillow on you. Dad, you want some water? Dad, you need anything? Dad, you want me to watch TV with you? Dad, can I sit on your chair with you? I mean, you name it. Me and that dude, we bonded over that stuff. And then he started calling me a cheater in wrestling. What a jerk. No, but seriously, real talk. We bonded. He was the most adorable kid in the world, and honestly, if he becomes a surgeon, he'll be a great one.
heck yeah. That's awesome.
But all 5 of my kids, they were all there for me when I needed them, and it was special to see how good your family can be for you. My wife, you guys, everybody knows what a great wife I have. I mean, she's constantly working these shows. to make sure that all of them run smoothly and stuff. And she, oh my gosh, she was there for me,
Role model.
and honestly, my friends, a lot of my wrestling buddies, they were there for me. Even Die Hard. Well, he joined the way at the time, so he was there for me. That's why, And then he turned on me. I don't understand what happened.
Okay, yeah.
So
We know about that one, but all right.
Anyway, yeah, we got to take a commercial break because they're over there like taking way too much time. But
it's an interview. I mean, what do you expect?
it is. It's a good interview too. You did a very good job. We're gonna go ahead and take a commercial break. When we come back, we might be answering your questions. I don't know. Maybe we don't want to. Anyway, see you in just a bit.
'Twas the fight before Christmas at the Barley House. All the fans have poured in for some wrestling bouts. Purple Hooter and role model Ray Stewart versus Spike. Alexander Crowley gives Johnny Stewart his first fight. And many more matches with belts on the line to give wrestling fans their greatest time. 2 world champions defending. They will walk the walk. They are handsome Harley T. Morris and the Big Black Hawk. The way is in action. Team Beast too, it seems. And so many more wrestlers, so don't miss a thing. Tickets are on sale now. They will sell out quick, so stay on the nice list of good St. Nick. Rubber City Wrestling, I say, is more than enough. It's real professional wrestling, not that flippy stuff.
Let me help you out of your chair, Grandma. Grandma.
Hey, what up? This is Jay Music,
Hey, man, it's Randall from Clerks.
and you're watching Rubber City Wrestling. Real pro wrestling, not that flippy stuff.
Rubber City. Isn't that what they call James Franco's bedroom? Guy orders condoms by the pallet.
Snoogans.
Would you like to see your commercial aired on both RCW Spotlight and RCW Global? Contact us on social media at facebook.com/Rubber City Wrestling, Instagram at Rubber City Wrestling, or email us at the RCW Network at gmail.com.
Welcome back to RCW Spotlight. Well, fans, it is that time of the show again where you have questions and we would have answers. But this week, we kind of went over, and the producer said, no, you are not doing questions. You did enough questions.
Oh, yeah.
And you did a great job, by the way.
Well, thank you, Omar.
I want everybody to write in and let him know what a great job he did. Because, usually I give him a lot of problems, but he did today.
I was also, because I know you like to show it, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. Usually I like to show the scar of that
Oh, I ain't
surgery.
afraid to show the scar.
All right, perfect. Go ahead and show the crowd the scar you have. Yeah, right there. Yep.
And then this is where the tubes were in. So when they pulled them out.
Yeah, listen, like, that surgery is no joke. Like you said, the pillow, definitely. I heard that. I have to add on, I'm sorry. I heard that when you sneezed the first time.
Oh my gosh, I cried.
Oh.
In front of my kids. And they never seen me cry before because I don't cry. I just went, hey, and I forgot my pillow. And then I'm like, oh, oh, like that. Not like cry, like, but like I had tears in my eyes and I was like, oh. And I looked over at them and they're all like mortified because they've never seen me ever show pain. And I'm like,
yeah, when you told
and
me
I just
that,
started laughing because they're looking at me. They looked more scared than I was. It hurt so bad. But yeah, they all were like mortified that I was crying and stuff.
When you told me that, I'm like, RoleModel crying? That's
the extent of it.
I mean, I'm kidding. You had a triple bypass, of course.
Yeah, anyway, next Saturday, we're going to be doing a special Saturday morning show, or Saturday afternoon show, because we're going to be talking about this event.
Yep.
And, but it's, yes, at the Barley House. First time ever wrestling there, so hopefully we put on a great event. And, come out and see us. There's a bunch of great matches. We got a bunch of tag team matches. The Way The Way will be in action against two bums. One's named Marcus Knight, something like that, and the other one's Aaron. What is it? Brown?
Aaron Black.
Blonde.
Aaron
Black. Aaron Black. That's right. I forget sometimes. I don't really pay attention to the mid carders.
Hopefully I'm not drunk by then. I can call that match and pick on you. But anyway, can't wait for that.
We got the World Tag Team belts on the line as the Hawaiian Liars take on the Alpha Bros.
Yep.
We got, speaking of students that are wrestling, we got
Alexander Crowley.
Alexander Crowley taking on what's his face? Ken Sermonero's grandson. I don't remember his name.
Johnny.
You weren't supposed to say his name, dummy. I'm trying to give him a hard time.
Oh, wow.
Johnny. Anyway, Johnny Stewart.
Hey, Johnny's got potential.
Johnny Stewart, and then of course, speaking of Stewarts, spelled differently, Ray Stewart.
Yeah. Oh, you got both from me. Thank you.
Coming back, and he'll be taking on Spike Ronin, not Ronan. So yeah, there's that, and me versus the Purple Hooter, and I believe that Harley T. Morris will have himself an easy one. No, okay, there's no such thing as an easy one, and especially if Schizo's in his corner. But yeah, Patches the Clown will be taking on.
Can you not think of wrestlers today?
No. I know Harley T. Morris. I'm saying I'm just. I don't understand why we have to wrestle Patches. Okay, A, I'm supposed to be friends with Schizo, and B, those dudes are crazy.
Well, they are.
They don't care about wins or losses. It's not. They care about just being crazy and hurting people.
They're trying. They also, if they win too, they can also feed.
Don't you realize that?
Butcher to prepare the meal.
Don't you realize that handsome Harley T. Morris is the golden boy of professional wrestling? You don't touch the golden boy.
He ain't no golden boy.
They should have given him a couple events off.
What?
I say they give him a couple events off.
No. What the heck is this? This ain't. You can't no freaking event
or at
off
least
on
if he's
referee.
got to wrestle non-title matches would be nice. What? You don't think it's a good idea?
Oh, you're annoying.
That way we can see if these guys are even deserving of being in that match.
You better be careful. That's all I'm saying. Because those two, man, they're going to mess them up. I'm sorry. But this ain't the prediction.
I'm going to have a talk with
Say
Schizo,
nothing.
man. And by that, I mean I'm going to have to have Animal have a talk with Schizo.
Oh.
Right?
But that one.
Yeah, that ought to be pretty good, man.
Good match.
Yeah, there's a lot of good matches. I mean, I think that was it. I don't know if there's going to be any other ones. I know, actually, you know what? They have a pre-show. So if you come a little bit early, like at 5.
You get some good pre-shows, yeah.
Yeah, we got a pre-show match. And honestly, this one here is intriguing to me. But it's not, it doesn't fit in the weight classes. So that's why they didn't put it on the card. But honestly, it's going to be, you've got Brendan Martell, who's one of the better up-and-coming wrestlers in the light heavyweight division, taking on Mike Smiley, who is one of the top contenders in the super heavyweight division. So you got speed versus power.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. That's going to be cool.
I think it's going to be a good match. That's what
yeah.
I plan on watching that match.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to come out there, you're going to see me at the bar getting drunk since I know I ain't got to do anything. You know what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to order some Purple Hooters. That's a good ass idea, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Actually, you know me, I'm not going to be drinking because I'm in the middle of hardcore working out right now, and I'm trying to get myself to a place where listen. 2025, I'm winning that World Heavyweight Championship. That's the bottom line. I don't care what it is. I am winning that World Championship, and so I am taking my workout to the next level, and that means cutting out X. The only time I'll ever drink is on this show. Usually it's the only time I do anyway, but there's exceptions. No exceptions. We're gonna.
I'm gonna be drinking on the show though, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
But I was gonna say though, you better hope Purple Hooter doesn't have his juice. Just saying.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that purple juice.
Listen. There's no such thing as a purple juice. There's no such thing as whatever planet he said he comes from.
Okay.
A purple planet. I don't even remember what he called it. And there's definitely no such thing of a purple hooter. It's Jeff Meekins, and we all know it. And I'll take off the mask and prove it.
Well, anyway, be there or be DJ Squared.
And you know what Jeff Meekins is? Another student. Mine.
You hear that, role model?
Traitor. What?
I said be there or be DJ Squared.
Ha ha! He hates when we call him that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But he's already called you out, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Oh, no. I'm going to call him DJ Squared, so that's with him now.
Now you're training. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it was probably... I wouldn't call it boring. I think it was pretty interesting and informative.
It was a great time.
But it wasn't that much about wrestling so much as it was more about my surgery. 7 years on borrowed time.
7
You
years
know,
going strong.
somebody did ask me, and I guess I'll answer it real quick before we go. They asked me where's my my mental health since all this. All right, listen. When you first acknowledge that you're supposed to be dead, it does kind of mess with you a little bit. But then I realized, wait a minute, I'm immortal. And I can't die. And so, what am I letting this get to me for?
Oh, my God.
And then it dawned on me, the only real reason why I had heart surgery is because they wanted to see what an immortal's heart looks like.
All right,
And
role
so,
model.
okay.
All
Back
right.
in character.
Maybe I'm glad I asked that
Hey,
question. Well,
back in gimmick.
listen.
Hey, they said I was character.
The reason why I didn't want to ask that question, because honestly, I didn't want you to, talk about, depression and all that stuff.
No. It's a good question. You get depressed afterwards.
Oh, of course.
You get depressed. That's just plain and simple. I mean, you just had a almost life-ending surgery, and so that kind of sits in the back of your mind for a little bit. But like every good breakup, I broke up with the old heart. You get over it.
Yeah. Well, now you feel better, I heard. You say you're doing great.
No, I'm doing great, man. Hey, you know what? I feel like I'm younger. That's the one thing I will say. After a year, and once I started getting back in there, I felt younger. Mm-hmm. Some of my aching joints don't feel younger, but energy-wise, I feel younger. So that's a good thing. Anyway, Ricky Williams, I want to thank you for this interview.
Okay.
And
you're welcome.
You're not going to give up on me next week. You're still going to work out, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to every few episodes, we'll give progress reports.
Okay.
We worked out right before this show. That's why I'm still dressed in my jogging outfit.
Yeah, me too. I got my little,
and
Nike shirt.
And I'm also doing boxing training with him.
It's fun.
So I'm getting him in all kinds of different shapes. I'm doing an exercise that is nothing he's ever done before. And every time he goes in there, he says, "Oh my gosh, I've never done this before. It's different. Oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be like. Oh, that's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be." So it's been fun.
Most of it feels good, though.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And you're going to notice a difference in a month.
Oh,
One month, you're going to be like, "Bro, I feel stronger."
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it. Anyway, guys, yes. Next week, let me see you out there. We're going to go ahead and do a show on Saturday. We'll do our predictions on that show. Boom. There you have it. For Ricky Williams, I am your role model, Rick Lieb, saying join us again next week for another edition of RCW Spotlight. Salute.
Peace.